Do you want more? More time, more balance, more love, more sex, more money, more real, and less bullshit? This is the Women Wanting More podcast with Dr. Karen Osborne. Real life, real stories, plus real tips to get you more of what you want.
So let me tell you a story about kombucha and unconsciousness. What the hell, Karen? What is this? Unconsciousness and kombucha, or kombucha and consciousness, whatever I plan to call this episode that you are now listening to presently. So let me share with you a story of something that happened to me yesterday. So we get groceries delivered to our home. By the way, if you don't take advantage of the amazing things like online groceries, grocery delivery, getting stuff ordered online to eliminate the low-level decisions in your life, fucking do it. Yes, you can pick out your own goddamn tomatoes. But think of the time that you save with that. Think of some of the people that maybe you don't want to be around in a grocery store, that you would rather be investing that time into your business, into your body, into your family, into your marriage. Side note, that's I'm getting off my soapbox of like, stop fucking doing shit you don't have to do in your life. You have time for a lot of things, but you need to do stuff like this. So, delivering the groceries. We like kombucha in our family. My boys love it. They're 4 and 7. I love it. My husband loves it. If you don't know kombucha, it is fermented tea. We love a brand called GTS. Our favorite that we usually get is Gingerade. And great form of probiotics, putting some really good bacteria into your gut. It's like a fizzy drink. Kind of tastes like pop, but it's not pop. It's amazing. So they come in glass bottles. So I'm having the guy, it's Thrifty's Foods. We order our groceries here online, here in Victoria, on what's called Vancouver Island, on the island. And they have these big green bins, right? So they've got the grocery bags, and they're all brown grocery bags, right? Paper. I don't know who the fuck is doing plastic anymore, but a lot of places in Victoria, they have paper. And so, you know, the paper isn't, I guess, actually, no, they are still as durable as the plastic, if not more. Those plastic ones are just thin, and they fucking double and triple bag them. But I'm having him hand me the groceries because I don't want him to bring them into the house to go to the front because I have 2 big dogs and they bark and go crazy. So I'm like, dude, I got it. He hands me a bag, and I want you to envision this. So a brown grocery bag, and the edge is kind of folded over, okay? Folded over or like smushed together. Like if you were to smush together 2 pieces of a sandwich, right? Like just squish it. And I grabbed the edge of it thinking the last couple ones have been like, I don't know, like rice crackers and what the fuck, apples, meat, like, not heavy, but I can pick it up and it's strong enough. Well, he hands me that one the same way, that's filled with 8 bottles of our GTS favorite Gingerade kombucha. So guess what happens? The fucking bag drops. Like, I shouldn't say the bag drops. The kombucha drops through the bag, because what should have happened is there should have been hands underneath the bag, right? The weight of those 8, I don't know what it is, 500 mil, 700 mil, bottles is far greater than what the paper bag can withstand, and they fall through the bottom, okay, onto the cement front steps of my home. Now, for some reason, only one fucking breaks, but it's irrelevant, but it smashes, like, I mean, a million pieces. Sometimes if you drop a glass, you're like, oh, it's like 3 pieces. That's kind of cool. That's an easy cleanup. But no, this one smashes into little bits and pieces. And we live here in Victoria. It doesn't really get all that cold. My kids are still kind of bare feet sometimes. They take their shoes off in the car. We're not really big on socks in our family. And I didn't want my 4 and 7-year-olds bare feet or my dogs to be tromping through the little little teeny fucking pieces of glass that are down the front steps. So I'm picking them up, okay? So the first thing that happens when that happens is I go, I know I said, fuck, right? And he instantly goes, because I was like, dude, really? And it was only dude really of like the way you handed it to me. Like, come on, you have a fucking brain. You drop off groceries for a living. It's not rocket science. You saw me grabbing the bag. It should have been like, uh-oh, that's not going to go well. But he didn't. And so it dropped. And it's okay. It's okay. But then what happened afterwards was not okay. So what happened afterwards is I'm on my hands and knees now picking up little pieces of glass and putting them into the rest of the paper bag that is now torn. They're all fizzing everywhere. Like, I don't give a fuck. He's like, oh, well. And I go, dude, really? And he goes, well, it's the people who packed it. It's the grocery store. It's not my fault. I'm like, okay. Thinking, you know what, motherfucker? Strike number one. Not taking responsibility. Now, I don't give a fuck at this point if he's not the one who packed it. He works for Thrifty Foods. He should be the one to say, you know what? I'm sorry. And just take that. It doesn't fucking matter whose fault it is. And he's standing there behind me and saying, oh, well, how many broke? Let's get your refund. I just said, my man, I don't give a shit about the money. I don't give a shit about the money. What I give a shit about is you did not take responsibility for what just happened in this moment. All you'd have to do right now is to say, I'm sorry. He continues to go on, and this is all, by the way, in a calm voice. I'm not speaking any louder or more intensely than I am right now, at least not yet, in how the story unfolds. And he continues to stand behind me and watch me pick up all the little pieces of glass, never offering to help, not fucking once, not once. And then wants to take a picture to send to his manager, and I know what it's for. And I turn around and I said, would you like to help me, or are you just trying to cover your ass right now? I know exactly what the fuck you're doing. Taking your picture, showing to your manager so you can cover your fucking ass. I go, or you could stand up like a man and take responsibility and help a woman who right now is on her hands and her knees in front of her house picking up the glass so that her children and dogs don't fucking cut their paws and their feet. Now, as you can probably imagine, he didn't know what to say with me. My intensity is intense. It is who I am. It is me, Karen Osborne. That's who I fucking am. I don't always go to that place, but in this time, I needed to. And on top of that, it was just a couple days off of my live event, Women Who Want to More Live 4.0, which, by the way, the next live event, the first quarter of 2018, which will be called The Evolution, is going to be fucking amazing. I am already planning, and we'll start taking applications for that like now. So if you want to apply for this, like, you need to fucking send me a message, drkaren@drkarenosborne.com, email me, Facebook me, like, fucking get a hold of me, because these 8 spots are going to fill up fast, sister, I'm telling you, most likely before Christmas. So back to the story. So I proceed to finish picking up the glass, and I look at him and I said, at the very least, I want you to take this bag away, please, with the glass, so it's out of my house. I walk in the house. And my husband, I'm sure, was hearing, because I'm starting to get a little heated at this point, me walk in and goes, what the fuck just happened? So I explain what happened. And you know, again, I'm coming off my live event, a very intense experience, very present, very all in with these women, and them very all in. The day after my live event, my husband now left for his 2-day live event called Men of Iron. And again, side note of that, for the men in your life that need to go through an experience like this, you need to speak to my husband, Men of Iron, Ed Osborne, or send me a PM and I will connect you so your husband can go through this experience, change the lives of these 5 men and their marriages and their families and their businesses. So fucking proud of him. So we're both in this kind of like heightened state, right? Almost kind of like trigger finger, like, you know, I've been in this energy of this intensity, right? Of being really present with these women. And so then I close the door, I tell her what happens, and we have this conversation. And it goes like this: honey, I fucking forget how unconscious the majority of the world was. And I said, I don't care about the money. I don't care. I don't even care that the bag dropped. I cared that he stood there behind me and watched unconscious, like he's watching a movie. Like, dude, would you like a fucking bowl of popcorn to go along with that? You fucking want to watch this go down? He was just outside of the situation. He was not present. He was already fast forwarding into how can I cover my ass from this situation? Because I think I'm going to get in trouble. And so I walk back inside. Then I go out to get the rest of the groceries because I'm having them stack them on the front. This only happened after like bag number 4, and we had a big order of, 10 or 12 bags of groceries. And I see he's left the fucking bag. And I'm like, oh no, you fucking didn't. And he's across the street getting ready to leave in his truck. I pick up the fucking bag. I march. That's right. I fucking march over. And I said, sir, please take this bag with you. And remember this experience, because there is something for you to see in this. Right? I'm still like full on coach mode. Like, what do you see in this situation? What the fuck is coming up for you? Like, what do you hear from this, right? And I know I'm in that space, and I just, there's something for you to see in this. And I walked back and I said, remember this experience. Remember this experience. I walked back in. Now, I didn't stay heated for a long period of time. It didn't bug me for a while. It's interesting because then the store actually called me. I had, I was gonna, oh, I should call. And I'm just like, you know what? I don't give a fuck. It's done. It's done. Moving on. Again, just a reminder of, number one, the thankfulness and the commitment I now make in how I live my life. The gratitude for the women that I get to lead that have made the commitment to being fucking all in and to stop the unconsciousness that is fucking killing their marriage, their families, and themselves and their businesses. And to start playing a different fucking game, what I call a life of more. And the store calls me. And so oh, look at this. There is a deer walking down my street. Welcome to Victoria, BC, Canada. Which, by the way, if you apply and you get to come out here, this is where we roll. We get to roll the Evolution early 2018, next live event, like right here in beautiful Victoria. So back to my story. So the store calls me, okay? And so they go, well, can we credit? And I just said, look, you can credit or not. It's a $4 bottle of kombucha. I really don't give a rat's ass. But I go, here's what matters to me. And I explained that. And I just said, look, it could be an isolated guy. It could not. I said, what matters to me is that you take this situation, you take this experience, and you bring it back to your store. And you understand that the culture of being present for your customers. And I said, I don't know how you really teach this. I go, I do, but I don't know how you can teach this to your employees. And I know you could hear this whole story and go, Karen, really? He's a guy who's delivering groceries. Give him a fucking break, right? Sure. Or you could see what I see in it, which is there's a bigger problem at hand, right? Being conscious, being aware, being awake. Waking the fuck up. Not spinning in your stories. Not saying poor fucking me. And not trying to figure out why shit happened the way it did and how life is so unfair. You were right, sister. Life is unfair. Get fucking used to it. So what? So what? And are conscious of the fact that you have a fucking life. I was at a cemetery this past week. You want to know how many fucking gravestones I saw of babies? Babies. 3-year-olds. 23-year-olds. 34-year-olds. You have a fucking life. It is not designed for you to live it unconsciously, unthankfully, unappreciative. Poor me. This is how you take an experience like what happened with this and not just be like, what an asshole, or, oh, he's having a bad day, it's no big deal, and actually see something. See, that's what I saw in the experience. And I never take off the coach hat, by the way. I'm not giving people unsolicited information, but it's important for me to connect with human beings, and sometimes it comes in that intensity. I know he will remember it. Now, he might remember it and go, man, that crazy bitch, psh, hope I don't deliver her groceries again. Because shit, it looks like they get groceries every week in this home. Damn. Or there could be something that he really sees, or that manager could really take that conversation to heart. I was very calm in speaking to him. I just said, look, there could be something happening in the culture of your store. If you simply showed your employees how to be conscious, how to be present, your revenue would increase. Your culture would be better. You'd have less turnover as employees. They would feel like they're part of something. And again, you could go, Karen, it's a grocery store. What's the big deal? No, I don't give a fuck. I don't care if you're delivering groceries or you're fucking finding the cure to cancer or doing brain surgery or doing what I do or you're a stay-at-home mom. Your life matters. You have the opportunity every moment in your life, whether you're the guy delivering groceries, the person at the toll booth, the mother raising her children, the CEO of a top fucking company, you have the opportunity to connect and make your life fucking matter. And that needs to happen with you being conscious and present and aware and grateful. So here's your more tip for today. Where right now in your life are you unconscious? Where? It might be everywhere. It might go, Karen, you know, like, I'm checked out in my marriage. I'm checked out as a parent. I'm checked out in my body. I'm just punching a clock at work or with my business. Where are you unconscious right now, sister? What is one step as part 2 of this that you can do to start becoming conscious and aware? It could be something really simple. You commit to listening to this podcast. You listen to one every single day. There's about 363 episodes right now. You get 3 a week. Those other 4 days, go back and listen to ones you haven't heard before. Start with number one and move forward. And yes, you're going to hear my message is a little different. You're like, oh, she said these things? Yeah, I've fucking evolved. And so will you if you fucking do this work and you wake up and you become conscious in your life. This is big, sister. Consciousness in kombucha? This could be the pivotal one that you've actually just go, I'm in. Like, and figure out what that is. What is that action you need to take? Could be you go and grab one of my free journals and you start there. That's at drkarenosborn.com/free journal. You join the sisterhood, which is at drkarenosborn.com/sisterhood. You go, you know what? Fuck this. I've been hearing this message for a year or 2 years. Something tells me I need to be there in Victoria right now. I need to be at the evolution. I need to be at this next live event. I need to be face to face with this fucking crazy ass bitch and other women that are like me. I need to get my fucking ass kicked. I need this. And you listen to the voice. And you send me a PM or you email me and say, Karen, I'm in. So let's start the process. I want to apply. I need to be there. Here's why. Do something, sister. Take fucking action. Your life matters. And you're only going to know that if you fucking wake up and you become conscious. That's it. In fact, that's actually everything. So, sister, I will talk to you on the next episode. A life of more is one step away from you doing the fucking work and waking up to the beauty of your life every single day. I love and appreciate you.
To get the show notes of each Women Wanting More episode, including the How to Get More tip, subscribe to the newsletter at drkarenosborn.com/newsletter.